Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be on all of my recent eBay purchases, which happen to add up to almost $1,000. And before you judge, just watch this video and see if you think all of these items was worth it. First off, I just want to say thank you for all the support on my Toma World series that you guys have been giving me. I tried very hard on all those episodes that I put out, but now we have a new filming studio and a lot of new things are going to be coming to the channel. So be on the lookout for these brand new videos coming soon. But the first one is going to be this eBay item showcase. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So to start off, some of these items I bought were in lots, some were not. I got all these items within a week, so I kind of did a shopping spree. And so this is what I ended up getting. Here we have the Roundhouse, brand new in the box. Pretty cool. I already have a Roundhouse, but it's not this version. This version is newer than the one that I have. But I'll be keeping this and I'll be keeping it in the box. When I make a layout, I might take it out and have 2 Titmus sheds on my layout instead of just 1, but we'll see. And then probably my favorite item out of everything I got was this Talking Railway Series Knapford Station set. I don't have a new style Knapford Station. I only have the old style clickety-clack version. As you guys know, you saw it in my series. So I'm very happy to get this Knapford Station. This is going to be the new Knapford of my layout and in my series. And honestly, I can't wait to do a review on this set because I think Talking Railway is so underrated and I don't think it gets talked about enough online. Just because of how rare some of these sets are, such as the Great Waterton set or the set that comes with Cranky, Spencer, and Thomas, I believe. But yeah, these sets are really cool. And this came in a lot with Titmus sheds and a couple of other things. But I can't wait to do a review on this set, so I'm not going to say any more. I'll just save everything I have to say for the review. But like I said, Knapford Station set, absolutely gorgeous. Now moving down the line here we come to some other items. Now, I didn't buy any duplicates of what I have in my collection, so I was actually just kind of building my collection. And if I did have any duplicates and lots I got, such as I already had Duke, and so what I did was I went and sold my other Duke on eBay. So I don't have duplicates in my collection and I save a little bit of money, I guess, not really, but anyways. So here is Elizabeth in mint condition. I never had Elizabeth. I had her growing up, but she didn't have her flatbed. So now I have a complete Elizabeth, which is pretty cool. Then I have old style Trevor I just got. I sold my Mattel Trevor. I just didn't think the Mattel one was very accurate. And I love this old style one. Again, in pretty mint condition. And then I got Diesel 261, who I think is absolutely gorgeous. I cannot wait to have him in my series. He's going to be in the first few episodes for sure. I already have the episode titles created, and you can guarantee that he's going to be in the next 5 episodes. And then I got a newer style Douglas. Now I already had a Douglas, and it was from 1996 or 1998. I forgot which. I think it was from 96. But he was pretty beat up, so I wanted to replace him and get a better one. So that's what I did. And honestly, I prefer the plastic coal over the painted coal for the engines. So I thought that was definitely a good upgrade. And then back to Talking Railway here, which I still think is just so underrated. Here we have Stanley. I never had Stanley growing up, so I thought I'd get Stanley. And while I was doing the Talking Railway, I was buying that set. I thought I might as well add to it and purchase a Stanley. So I did that as well. And then we got a Titmus milk tanker, brand new in the box, from 1996. And then we have these Soda China clay cars, new in the box from 1997. You can see they still have Velcro, which means either someone was collecting these and put the Velcro on the box, or this is just how they were sold in stores with Velcro. I'm not too sure. Then we have a Duke, brand new in the box, 1997. So yeah, same thing with Duke. I had China clay cars before, and I went and sold the ones I had. Say hello to my cat. I went and sold the China clay cars that I had before, and so I don't have duplicates. These are the only ones I have, but they're in brand new condition, so that's what I was going for. Moving down the line here we have Splatter and Dodge, which I have never had in my collection before, and I grew up watching Thomas and the Magic Railroad on repeat, and still do watch the movie very often. And so I wanted to get Splatter and Dodge, and they will make an appearance in my series at some point. I already have it, the title's decided, but that'll be further down the line. And so I'm very happy to have Splatter and Dodge, and can't wait to use them in my series. I think that'd be very cool if someday they'd get renditions, which definitely won't happen. But just imagine the Thomas and Railway line was still going. If we got an updated Splatter and Dodge, that would be really cool. Now, next we come to the Windmill. I already have a Windmill, but the lot that I purchased had this brand new Windmill, and so I'm just going to keep it in the box as sort of a collection item. And you can just see how cool Thomas and Railway really used to be, and just how far it's fallen. Just taking a look at that play table there. You have the original Solar Bay tugboat, count the line, just a lot of cool stuff. A lot of cool stuff. And then we have a brand new Herald. I already have a Herald, and so this Herald will stay in the box, brand new, and be just another thing to display. And the year is 1998. 1998 Herald. So I'm glad I have these two items, but it is a shame that they were in the lot that I bought, because if everything was separate, I wouldn't have got these two, but they are nice collector pieces. So I'm definitely not bummed about having them. Now here we come to a Toma World, Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends set. Now I had Trackmaster and Tomy growing up, but I didn't have a lot of it. A lot of the stuff was missing, so I never really had a complete set. And I remember seeing the Tomy commercials growing up, and they were just so cool. And so I went out and bought this set. It wasn't that much money, and so that's why I pulled the trigger and got it. That is a set right there. My cat's gonna have to get out of the filming area. That is a set right there, and I can't wait to set it up. I'm gonna do a review on this set as well and get it all up and running for you guys. Yeah, it's just cool. You just see what Thomas and Friends merchandise used to be. Like, you just don't get this nowadays. Like, even though the station's just so plain and bland, you just don't get this, even just box artwork to begin with. So, glad I have that. Can't wait to do a review. Moving on, here we have the useful engine shed. I have two special engine sheds. I've never had a useful. I've always seen it online in people's layouts and videos, and I've always thought of having one. And I was just scrolling eBay randomly one day, not even intending to buy anything. And this was way after I'd gotten any of the other items. But I saw this for a very good deal with the box, new condition, and so I had to get it. It is from the year 2006. And even in 2006, just how cool the merchandise and boxes were. Even if they were using more plastic, like, you can't tell me that looking at this picture doesn't make you want to collect the line. It's just an era come and gone. But yeah, that's my useful engine shed. That'll be used for my next layout. And then moving on, here we have a rare item, I would say, because I've never really seen people online have these, especially new in the box. I have Sir Topam Hat and Lady Hat here, brand new in the box. I don't remember the year, if we can look here. 97. So this is from 97, and this Sir Topam Hat figure will be used in my series. I don't like the wood one, the chunky one. I think this is so much better. You can have so much more character and, I guess, expression with Sir Topam Hat whenever he's scolding my engines. So it's gonna work out nicely. We can have Lady Hat there next to him. You know, you can create some comedy, some different scenarios within an episode with these characters. So I'm definitely glad I picked that up. Now, this one I was so excited for because a seller was selling this and I could tell he wanted to get rid of his items. And so every other listing for this item on eBay was going for at least $70, $80, $90, $100, more than $100. They're kind of all over the place, but they're not cheap. And so I could tell this guy wanted to get rid of his this item, and so I gave him an offer and he accepted it. So I got this for a good price. This is just so cool. We have a 10 years in America, brand new. And I never thought I would own this one day, and Thomas has that special expression. It's cool. Like, imagine having this just 15, 20 years from now. It's like, yeah, I have this. Like, this is 10 years in America, like Thomas and Friends, that show that was just so good. And I have this item. It's just like, what makes collecting so cool for the Thomas and Railway line is that the show was so good and everyone knew what it was. And everyone heard of this tank engine, and here we are just like collecting these items, just years, levels above the merchandise that's out nowadays. So, moving on. Here we have a yearbook that came in a lot. Just a classic yearbook. It's from the year 2007. It's got some cool stuff in it, nothing special. But even nowadays, like, we don't even get yearbooks. I don't think so. Mattel did some pamphlets when they first took over the Thompson Railway line, but I think that was short-lived. I know they did a couple yearbooks. I don't know if they did every year, but I believe they've stopped now. Correct me if I'm wrong, but just another thing that's come and gone. Now here we have the Sodor suspension bridge, the original. And hot take, I honestly think this bridge looks better, and it's probably better play-wise and for layouts, especially for a big classic Thompson Railway layout. This is the bridge to go with. But I think the later learning curve version, after calling all engines, that suspension bridge, I honestly prefer that one. I know most people will not agree, but I just think, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of an awkward piece. I mean, you could put it in the middle, I guess, or on the edge, but I'll see if I can incorporate this into my layout and for the series. I think it'd be pretty cool. There's some pretty cool story ideas you could do with this bridge. You could have a crash, you could have an engine running into the supports, have a road underneath. There's just different stuff you could do. But this came in a lot as well, and so I didn't really have a choice in getting it or not. But I'm honestly glad I did, because I've never seen one of these in person. I never had it as a kid. And it's in pretty brand new condition, except for some wear on this one track. But other than that, yeah, it's a nice piece. Moving on, here we have Ada, Jane, and Mabel. Now, I've had my eye on Ada, Jane, and Mabel for a while, because I've always wanted to expand my coach collection within my Thompson Railway collection. And there just wasn't always a lot of options. Like, I had the mail coach and Old Slow Coach and Annie and Clarabelle and the Express coaches, and Henrietta, but there just wasn't much else to buy, with the exception of making your own, for example, like red branch line coaches or green Express coaches. But it's like, I don't want to go and do customs, because I know I'll do a decent job for sure, like I did with my custom troublesome brake bands that I used for my Flying Kipper in my series. But after some months, I just don't think they look good anymore, and I'll just sell them online. So that's kind of how I feel about customs. Anyway, this is Ada, Jane, and Mabel. I know in the Railway series, I believe they were open narrow gauge coaches, but for my series, they're going to be used on the standard gauge track. I just think it's better for story purposes, and it's just going to be interesting to see these coaches pulled through Knapford Station by James, Henry, Percy, anybody. So that's what we're going to go with. And this box is just so cool. We have the 8-way switch track here. Rheneas and the China Clay cars going through the mountain tunnel. James. Yeah, just really cool stuff. Just classic Thomas and Railway is honestly unbeaten for merchandise. But yeah, very glad to have AJ and Mabel. You will see these coaches in my series. Next, we have the work shed. I've always wanted one of these work sheds, but they're just so expensive online. And I also forgot to include, I did get a V-switch with this shed, so that was also why I paid the price for it. But it is in brand new condition, kind of. Some wear with the plastic and everything, but all the stickers are still on there nicely, so it's a nice piece. I've always got engines crashing in my series and going to the works, but we never actually see the works. And so now we can finally see the works where the engines get repaired. So that'll be on the layout for sure. Very excited about that piece. And then we come to the Arsdale barrel loader. I've always wanted one of these. I've never had a barrel loader. The only barrel loader I had when I was a kid was the honey loader. And it came with these honey barrels and a honey car. And so I always wanted a regular barrel loader, and now I got one. And so it's the old style one, probably from around 97. I'm not too sure. I think the date's on the back, but that's not too important. It's got all the barrels, pretty good condition. I don't really see a lot of wear with this item for being how old it is. So yeah, a nice piece to add to the docks or the yard or by the sheds. Just a nice building piece. And then this figure 8 expansion pack came in the same lot with the Tidmouth sheds, Knapford station set, Solder suspension bridge. And so just something I had in the lot that I didn't really have a choice of getting or not. I'm glad I got it though. I honestly don't know if I'm gonna open it. It is brand new from the mid 2000s. I don't know if I'm gonna open it. I don't know if I need all this track. I don't have a ton of track, but I have enough to like use all my destinations and space that I want. Because honestly, it'd be cool to build a massive layout and do a layout video, but a lot of the times those massive layouts are not easy to film on. And so I kind of have to pick and choose what you want to use for a filming layout. But a nice expansion pack nonetheless. Moving on, here we have the Adventures of Thomas, the Mattel version. Now, I've never had the Adventures of Thomas, and so I definitely wanted to grab these at some point, but they just go for insane prices on eBay. But I chose this one specifically because it does have, I think, the best Thomas, Winter Wonderland Thomas with a snowplow. This is definitely the best one they've ever released. I stand firm on that. He's got the blue snowplow. He's got the expression that's so accurate to the TV series at the time, and just the snow all over his body. It's like equally distributed. So it's a good looking model. And then we have the classic paint splattered calling all engines Thomas, and then a fishy Thomas. I don't know if that's referencing Thomas in season 5 when he deals with the fish in those episodes. I don't know if it's dealing with that. Or when he goes overboard and Arthur comes to rescue the day. But I honestly give major props to Mattel for releasing a fish Thomas, because usually it's always something else. I don't think they've never done a fish Thomas before, so that's definitely a cool item to have. These are going to stay in the packaging. I don't really know if I'm going to take them out unless I have an episode I want to do with a snow-covered Thomas or a fish Thomas. I think a fish Thomas would be very cool to use, but other than that, I'll probably keep it in the packaging. Moving on to the last item of this video is the Freightyard expansion pack that also came in the big lot from the 90s. These expansion packs are so cool because they really give you a good amount of items. These packs just give you track, and these over here will give you a signal box, workmen, signs, some signals, and just you can kind of create a story in your own layout with just a simple destination or two, like the cargo crane here. Like we have Thomas at a goods yard now. Just because this layout has the cargo crane, it offers all this other stuff to create a goods yard. Instead, this is just kind of meant for making a layout bigger and not really creating a environment, at least in my opinion. So very glad to have this expansion pack. I don't know if I'm gonna open it, honestly. It just depends on how big I want my season layout to be. That's honestly what all this depends on, and what destinations I want to use, because I do like to switch it up and keep some things out and keep the layouts fresh for you guys to look at while the episodes are happening. But definitely a cool item, definitely glad to have. It's got the carrying handle. Definitely a vintage Thomas Railway item that I am glad to have. And what's the year on this thing? 1998. So, yeah, definitely glad to have that item. So that is going to be it for this video, guys. These are all the eBay items that I got from the lots and purchases that I made. Everything equaled up to about $1,000. I think it was $50 or $40 short of $1,000. So this is what $1,000 gets you nowadays on the Thomas Railway eBay, which is honestly brutal. I think the eBay for Thomas Railway has completely plummeted within the last 2 to 3 years. I remember I used to be able to go on it back when I was in high school, and you could get some fair prices. Like I bought that instant system set that I did a review on my channel. I bought that for only like $100, and now that set's gonna be going for $500-600 brand new, just because someone wants to make some big profit. And I don't know who's gonna be spending that money on one set. And I completely forgot. I forgot to talk about my 1992 black wheel Terrence with the treads. And so if you remember in my layout video, which for some reason has been getting more views now. I don't know why people are suddenly watching that very first video I made, but thank you, I appreciate it. I talked about if I'm gonna get another Terrence, I want it to be a black wheel Terrence, and I wanted to have the treads because what's the point of buying another Terrence without the treads when it's supposed to have the treads? And so here we are, a very mint condition 1992 Terrence with the treads. You'll be seeing this Terrence in my series. I definitely want to use them. I think it just looks so good. Definitely better than the 94 version I have. And so, yeah, that's my 92 Terrence. I'm not honestly a fan of the 92 items. A lot of them, I think in nib condition, they'd be very cool and I think they'd be great. But a lot of the 92 items offered online, they just are in such bad condition that at the end of the day, it sucks to call them toys. But when people are selling these 92 items for $35 and they look like they've been chewed up by someone's dog, I don't understand why people are buying those items. I mean, there's kind of a reality to it, but I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. But anyway, I don't think I missed anything. But these are all the items that I got on my eBay purchase. So let me know in the comments below which item's your favorite or what do you think? Any ideas for my layout? I'd love to hear them. So that's gonna do it for this video. Be on the lookout for my next video. I got a lot of videos planned for the channel up and coming. And so without further ado, I wanna thank you guys for watching this long video and I'll see you in the next one.